Ever wonder how you can make some really good returns on your money? You are probably bombarded every day with all sorts of investment opportunities that sound so promising, but you are not sure which one to choose because you don't even know if any of them will actually work out for you. All that can be very confusing and feel daunting, but I'm here to show you 3 money hacks to help you make a guaranteed return on your money without much hassle. This is something that I've used and continue to use almost every day in my life. And by taking advantage of these money hacks, I get to make returns of up to 90% in some cases. Considering that the average return from investing in the stock market over the long term is about 7% per year when adjusted for inflation, even making 20% from what I'm about to show you means that you're effectively making 3 times more than that. And if you think this sounds too good to be true, I urge you to give this video a chance and let me know what you think afterwards. Hi guys, my name is Marius and welcome to Money Employed. If this is your first time here and would like to join our community of money employers and finance junkies, then make sure to subscribe today for the amazing price of £0 and 0 pence. Seriously, it's absolutely free. Just click on the subscribe button below and you will see that it won't even ask you for your card details. How cool is that, right? Also, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like because it really helps out the channel with the YouTube algorithm. Now, when it comes to getting great returns on your money, there is no shortage of things to invest in. From stocks to real estate to even buying products at a discount and selling them on eBay for a profit, there are so many proven ways to make a good return. The thing is, most of them require either your time, a good level of knowledge, or money, or in many cases, all 3 of those things. For example, in real estate, which is commonly referred to as property investing here in the UK, to get a 20% ROI on a single buy-to-let property, you need to know what you're doing, it will take you time to get there, and you need money to do it. Unless, of course, you're using other people's money to finance 100% of the project, but that again requires you to know what you're doing. Otherwise, why would any investor trust their money with you, right? Anyway, what I'm trying to get to is that it's difficult to make a good return on your money from investing. And if you're still very new to the investing game, it can be very encouraging to start off with something that guarantees you a return. So what am I talking about? Well, what I want to share with you are 3 money hacks that you can start taking advantage of today and effectively make returns of between 10% and 90% in some cases. But before I introduce you to these, I just want to make it clear that I'm not going to talk about some insane investing opportunity or get rich quick scheme or anything like that. If that's what you're after, then I'm afraid this video won't deliver that. But still watch this video because I'm sure you will get a ton of value out of it. And I also can't afford to have my retention rate drop. So let's begin. Right, so hack number 1 is for anyone who has credit card debt or any sort of high interest consumer debt. The latest data shows that in the UK, the average credit card debt per household is just over £2,500. Moreover, the average credit card interest rate sits at nearly 21%. That's basically 3 times the average return of the stock market over the long term when adjusted for inflation. Now, the interest rate on your credit card might be lower, for example, maybe it's 15%, but that's still high when you consider how many investments that you have access to can make 15% per year. Never mind the fact that no investment opportunity guarantees you a rate of return. So by paying off your credit card in full as soon as possible without getting charged too much in interest, which on average here in the UK is 21% or 19% if you're in the US, you are effectively making a guaranteed rate of return. That's because you get to keep the money that you would otherwise have to pay to the credit card company in interest. Even Cuban endorses this money hack, and who are we not to listen to a billionaire's financial advice, right? So if you're looking for something to invest in, but you have credit card debt on which you're paying ridiculous amounts of interest every year, you should first focus on clearing off that debt and then consider investing. The second money hack that guarantees you a rate of return can be used when you shop for the things that you need or the things that you want. I use this hack every single week and it's so satisfying. The best way to explain how this hack works is to tell you how I use it. Basically, whenever I do my food shopping, mostly at Lidl, I always try to buy food that's on offer. For example, because I know that I will want to cook chicken multiple times throughout the month, whenever I find chicken meat at 30% off, I always buy 4 or 5 packs and freeze them as soon as I get home. This applies to other meats and fish, and it saves me a ton of money every single month. By paying 30% less for a product that I know I will need in the future, I'm effectively making a 30% return right on the spot. Just the other day, for example, I went food shopping at Asda and bought 3 packs of bagels, which are delicious by the way, for 75% off. And I get to freeze those as well and defrost them for whenever I want to eat them. Here you can see just a few examples of when I use this hack. So basically, instead of trying to find investments that can potentially make you a high ROI, why not pay less for the things that you've already budgeted for and make instant high returns? To me, it's a no-brainer, and I don't understand why so many people don't do it. And you can achieve similar results with products like laundry detergent or hand soap, for example, if you buy them in bulk, which usually comes out cheaper, or buying more when there's a discount on such products. The amount you're saving per item might be little, but when you add them all up, they can amount to a lot of money. And just consider the following example. Say you have a budget of £300 per month to spend on groceries and other things for your home like cleaning products. If you get to spend on average 10% less of your budget every month for a whole year, which is very realistic, and still buy the things that you need, you're basically making a return of 10% per year with minimal effort. Now let's take this example to the next level. 10% of £300 comes up to £30 that you can save each month, right? If you take that £30 and invest it consistently every month in a low-cost index fund that tracks the S&P 500, returning an average of 7% per year when adjusted for inflation, in 40 years you will have saved £14,400, but your investment pot will be worth almost £75,000. So not only are you buying the things that you need and make a good instant return, but you can then take that return and invest it over the long term and make even more money. This hack really blew my mind when I realized how powerful it is, and that's why I use it all the time. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't always buy the things that I need at a discount because they're not always on offer. But when they are, and I know that I can store them safely and use them at a later date, I always stack up. I even get annoyed sometimes when I find my food on offer, but I know I don't have space in the freezer. I know, first world problems, right? One thing I do want to mention here is that just because something is on offer doesn't mean you should buy it. If it's not something that you need or know that you will need in the very near future, then don't buy it. Basically, don't spend your money on that chainsaw from Lidl just because there's a 50% discount, okay? And the third money hack that I want to talk to you about is also related to shopping. Basically, as obvious as it might sound, by not spending money, you are effectively making a guaranteed rate of return. Now, what do I mean by not spending money? Because you still have to pay for your basic living expenses every month, right? Well, what I'm actually referring to are impulse purchases. These are purchases that you're making without even realizing it, and they can cost you a lot. How much is a lot? Well, according to research, the typical British adult spends roughly £200 per month, or about £144,000 over their lifetime on impulse purchases only. And things don't look better across the pond either, because in the US, impulse purchases cause the average consumer to spend about £5,400 per year. That's just ridiculous when you consider that in both countries there are millions of people who don't have enough savings to even cover emergencies or unexpected expenses. So as you can see, just by controlling our spending on these impulse purchases, we could be left with so much more money. Basically, if you're out and you see a pair of shoes that you like, selling for, let's say, £50, and you feel the urge to buy them, just take a pause and think about this. Do you actually need them, or are your emotions dictating what you should do? That small action can cause you to reassess the situation, and by not buying the shoes, you're effectively making £50 because you're not spending it. Now here's the cool thing you can do every time you feel the urge to buy something on impulse, but you manage to control yourself. Take the amount of money that you were about to spend and send it in a separate savings account, and check back at the end of the month to see how much money you were about to spend on things that you don't need. I'm sure you will be astonished. Now, one very effective way that I use to deal with impulse purchases, especially when I want to get a new gadget or something similar, is I go window shopping on places like Amazon, eBay, or other websites to see where can I find the best deal. Then what I do is I read reviews and watch videos of the product, and by the end of that process, I feel like I've already bought the product, used it, and got bored of it. So yes, I have the urge to buy nice things all the time, but just by doing this, I get to save hundreds of pounds every year. That's again a guaranteed return, which yes, it can take a bit more effort to achieve, especially if you're a shopaholic. But it's still doable, and you should work on getting good at it. Because just imagine using the previous example, this time you would invest, let's say, half of the average £200 a month in impulse purchases. £100 invested every month would amount to be almost £250,000. That's how much in reality your impulse purchases might be costing you. If you made it this far in the video, let me just say that you're amazing, and for that I want to give you a bonus way to make a guaranteed return, this time through investing. It's by no means a money hack, but it's the very best investment that you can ever make. So the number one thing that you can invest in and ensure that you will always get the maximum ROI possible is yourself. This piece of advice comes straight from Warren Buffett, and he's clearly someone whose advice you want to follow when it comes to investing. There are so many ways that you can invest in yourself, either through buying books, going to seminars, doing online courses, and so much more. The thing is, the more you invest in yourself, the more valuable you become, and money always follows value. For example, you might be someone working as a salesperson, and just by reading a book on closing, your conversion rate might go from 10% to 20%. That means that you'd be making twice as much money from commissions, and the cost of doing that was just the price that you paid for that one book. And the best thing is that once you learn that new skill, or improve your existing ones, or gain more knowledge, no one can take that away from you. For the rest of your life, you will be able to benefit from that small investment you made by buying and reading that book. So why not use the 3 money hacks that I just showed you and make the most of those returns by investing in yourself first before you decide to put money in anything else? Because the truth is, if you don't understand what you're investing in, you're basically gambling with your money. And I wouldn't like to see you lose your money that way. But don't worry, I'm not going to pitch you a paid course or anything like that. Having that said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of it. If you have, please make sure to hit the like button because it lets me know that you guys enjoy the content that I put out. Also, if you want to show your support for the channel, subscribing and clicking the notification bell really does the trick with the YouTube algorithm. By the way, if you want a free stock, use the link in the description below to sign up with Trading 212, and they will give you a free stock valued up to £100 when you deposit £1. As always, comment your thoughts and questions below and let me know if there's any particular subject that you would like me to cover in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.